What is up, everybody? Jarrett from Empire Facets here, and today we are talking about a game we haven't talked about in a very long time, probably back in February, maybe early March. So it has been, now it's June, what is that, like 2 months, 3 months? It's been a long time, and that is Flesh and Blood. I did do a video, I think, on the Monarch release, but I haven't really covered it since then, and prices have been dropping pretty steadily. So I wanted to cover that today, my thoughts on the market, if I have acquired any product, and that is what we're talking about. So some price data, pre-order sales are really high in the 600s, and the way that I've kind of seen it on eBay is there is two different products that I was looking at. Basically, there's the Monarch First Edition booster box, and then there is the Monarch First Edition at-home pre-release kit, which is the booster box, a promo card, and then it looks like some sort of map or maybe a rule book or something. So that's kind of the two different products that we'll go off of. Pre-releases or pre-orders for the at-home release kits were in the $600, $650 range, very high. The first product sale that I saw where somebody actually had the box in hand was an at-home release kit for $525 in the middle of May. It is now, it's May 31st when I record this. It'll probably be June 2nd when you guys watch this video. If I get my editing done in time, which is always a bit of a crapshoot. But either way, boxes are selling today. Just the booster box itself is going for $350, was the cheapest one I saw in about the last week, and then the cheapest at-home release set with the promo card was right around $400, maybe a touch over $420, which is down almost $200 from pre-order prices and $100 down, or a nice 20% haircut from where it was when it released in May. Prices on everything have been falling. They've been falling on Pokemon for longer than Flesh and Blood. The new Monarch release has been out. They've probably been falling since, I would say, March, April time, maybe even late February. Prices have been steadily declining. So I would say that it's probably a mixture of that, people kind of getting out of it. Although I think if you were in Flesh and Blood, you're pretty deep in the whole collectible trading card playing game. And I did talk about this in my last video about Metazoo. I do believe a lot of the people that are buying up Flesh and Blood products are players. They play the game. It has a good playability versus something like Metazoo or Pokemon, where you see the majority of people buying it are more for the collectability, which I think is a very important distinction. But because people are in it for the playability, they are not pulling out now that the world's opened back up. Those people are pretty much in it for the long run, I would say, and are going to continue playing. It's not flippers looking to make a quick dollar. It's people that are really invested in the game and have probably spent hundreds of dollars on Flesh and Blood all the way back to its inception, or found out about it and have a nice deck, like to play with friends, and they are going to stick around a lot more than Pokemon, where we have seen some pretty significant price drops because of that sort of less hardcore, I guess is the word we'll use, less hardcore people, like which I believe the Flesh and Blood audience is. So I don't think prices have fallen as much, but I do think there is probably a slightly less demand because of that. The world opening back up, people spending their money on other things, no more stimmy money coming in. Seems to have dried up. Haven't heard any talk about that. Pretty soon they'll probably start making me pay my student loans back, but that is a story for another day. Anyways, on the other side too, you have that all new products seem to fall in price on release. I think they released the supply numbers on the rest of the Flesh and Blood First Edition products, and they were lower than I think a lot of people believed they were. However, this is the now fourth set, and you have to believe that the makers of Flesh and Blood are going to keep stepping up the numbers of products as they see that Crucible of War boxes, last time I checked, were $50 or $70 a pack. Very expensive for first edition. They have to see that. They want to capture as much of that profit from the market as possible. So they're going to print, I would say, a pretty good chunk more. You can go back and look at the numbers, how they've increased from the first set to the not Monarch. I always get those Arcane Rising set, up to the Crucible of War set, and they're going to keep climbing. So I think that there's a lot of product out there. Maybe a lot of people that pre-ordered and looking to get out of it. There's a lot of people over leveraged in the market that we're in. Again, probably not as bad in Flesh and Blood as it was in Pokemon, but end of story. I believe prices are going to keep falling. I don't think we've seen the bottom. Crucible of War dipped all the way to 350 from 500, 600 range after it had been out for 6 to 9 months. Bottomed out to 350, bounced like a little kid on a trampoline, and now has shot basically to the moon. If you bought at 350, I'd say you're probably up around 3x. Last I checked, it could be down to back to 700, so you're only up 2x, but either way you did very good. I don't see any reason why Monarch would hit 350 and bounce as well. I think it will keep dropping further. I do think that if you are looking to acquire a position for the long term and you have quite a bit of money to throw around as a investor or a collector, probably a good time to buy a box if you don't have any, and then keep buying every time they drop $50 or $100 lower. I don't know about 100, but I think at 50, if you bought one at 350, one at 300, maybe one at 250, and then if they went back up, you could start to buy, or you could just kind of hold your 3 boxes. Depending on how much capital you have, it would be your own strategy. You could do it at every 25, so then you'd have 6 boxes instead. That is all up to you. Personally, I don't have the liquidity at the moment. I have money tied up in, well, as you can see, we have quite a bit tied up in that. But then also Pokemon card, I got stuff at PSA that I have paid for that I haven't got anything back on. I got some lots I'm looking to move on eBay right now. So I just have quite a bit of funds tied up in things at the moment that I don't have the $400 to drop on the box. There's also a lot of other things I'm looking at. We got UFC cards that have come out. We have, what else have I been looking at recently? The Francis Ngannou rookie card, UFC stuff. I've been looking at some some Magic the Gathering. I've been watching too much Rudy from Alpha Investments and thinking that buying some of the core 2021 sets would be a good idea. So I might look into some of that. He seems very confident on some of those, and I do trust in Rudy. So might be spending some money there. There's new stuff coming out all the time, and prices keep dipping. Pokemon collection buying. I just bought a pretty big collection 2 weekends ago. Definitely check out my series on that if you haven't seen it. But we're getting way sidetracked here. Let's not talk about my liquidity. Let's go back to talking about Flesh and Blood. So I will be looking to buy a box if they keep dropping and I can get some stuff to move and sell, get some funds freed up. I would definitely like to have a box. Actually, I even thought about possibly dumping some of my Crucible of War First Edition packs. I think they were all the way up to 70. I think they've dropped back down to 50 now. But I could sell, I have six or seven. I think I have 6 of them. So if I could sell 4 of those, keep 2, it's not ideal, but it would probably be close to enough to get me a whole 36 packs of Monarch, which is probably a pretty good trade up. So I have thought about doing that, but that's kind of my strategy. I will wait. I do think prices are going to keep dropping. I would not be surprised if it drops pretty significant, I would say. Yet I don't think we have seen the bottom, but that is just my personal opinion. And if you do think it's a good product, probably can't hurt to buy some now, especially based off the prices of the old stuff. When Unlimited comes out, it will shoot up, and when it is eventually discontinued, it will go up more. So I think for the long run, probably not a terrible price to get in, but if you are pretty shrewd or are a little tight on funds at the moment, I don't think there's any problem waiting, but that's just my opinion. That is my opinion. Let me know if you guys have picked up any first edition Monarch, if you've opened any boxes, if you're sitting on them, what your game plan is. I would love to hear it down in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for more, hopefully more Flesh and Blood content. I would like to open some product if we ever got the chance to. And I know I have been pretty short on it, but I do like to cover it occasionally. So subscribe if you'd like to see those videos and more videos on all sorts of collectible card investments. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next video.